Good afternoon and welcome to Real Estate Talk Podcast. I'm Rob Keilman, your host and Virginia real estate agent. Kicking it off with some bad news. New home sales are tanking. Gen Z is shaking up the market, and crypto down payments, that's where we're at now. And guess what? Commercial real estate sees a glimmer of hope. What's driving these trends as we cap off June 2025? Let's find out all this and more on the Real Estate Roundup. All right. Leading it off, we have real estate sales tanking. Hold on. Let me see this. Sales of new homes tanked in May, pushing supply up to a 3-year high. Okay. Sales of new single-family homes dropped 13.7% in May compared with April, according to the U.S. Census. Home Building, who reported quarterly earnings, recently noted high rates cutting into affordability. We'll continue to see high rates playing a crucial role for home buyers and builders alike. Sales of new single-family homes dropped 13.7% in May compared with April to 623,000 units on a seasonally adjusted annualized basis, according to the U.S. Census. That sales total was 6.3% lower than May 2024 and well below both the 6-month average of 671,000 and of the 1-year average of 676,000. It also lags the pre-pandemic average in 2019 of 685 units sold. Wall Street analysts were expecting May new home sales of 695, according to estimates from Dow Jones. Also, National Association of Realtors, existing home sales ticked up by 0.8% from April to a seasonally adjusted rate of 4.3 million in May 2025. Year-over-year sales declined 0.7%. So, according to NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun, the relatively subdued sales are largely due to persistently high mortgage rates, and lower interest rates will attract more buyers and sellers to the housing market. Increasing participation in the housing market will increase the mobility of the workforce and drive economic growth. I agree. And if it wasn't for this cat right here, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, he said Fed rate cut is on hold even as Trump demands cuts. So the president of the United States is demanding him to cut interest rates. That's going to affect both the housing sector as well as the business sector. So, but this guy I'm not sure what's going on. So he's just going to hold fast until he leaves office. So he probably will not be doing any rate cuts, I don't think, for the rest of the year. All right, let's move on to some more regional stuff. All right. Looks like Florida home values are dropping and inventory is soaring. So Florida's May housing inventory prices drop over the past few months. Florida's housing market is finding its balance, and that's good for buyers and sellers alike. Florida's housing market in May reported increases for sale inventory, active listings, and lower median prices compared to a year ago. Statewide trends over the past few months, according to Florida's Realtors Association latest housing data. Words. What am I hearing? Closed sales of existing single-family homes statewide in May totaled 24,756, down 5.7% year over year. While existing condo townhouse sales totaled 8,345, down 19.9% over May 2024. Closed sales may occur from 30 to 90 plus days after sales contracts are written. The median sales price for single-family existing homes last month was $415,000, down 2.7% from a year ago, according to data from Florida Realtors Research Department in partnership with local realtor boards associations. Last month's statewide median price for condo housing units was $310,000, down 6.1% over a year ago figure. The median is in the midpoint, half the homes sold for more, half or less. Yeah. All right, Florida, keep on going. I love you, Florida. I really do. I really want to buy real estate down there, and it's looking like now is starting to become a good time. Where's the bottom? Where's the bottom, indeed? But it looks like there's a lot of hope in there as well. So I don't know. Maybe it's turning the turn here. I don't know. I have hope for Florida here. So he said it's finding its balance. I'll believe the locals there. So it's finding its balance, see where the bottom is, and see. No, I'm just kidding. A reason why I'm not even trying to clown that much, but I get a lot of calls actually lately coming from Florida, looking into Southeast Virginia. So, but yeah, I could see why too. We have beach property under 5 million. So that's Virginia Beach, by the way. Hit me up anyway. So let's go on and let's look at Texas. It looks like as of May 2025, the median home sales price was down 1.6%. So let's look at that here. Yeah. So where is this from? Austin's housing market. How quickly are homes selling and for how much? And here we go. Yeah. As of May 2025, the median sales price for the Austin metro as a whole was $449, down 1.6% year over year. That's not bad. I think, what else did it say? Median sales price is highest in the city of Austin itself. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. But I think Austin might be kind of reaching homeostasis there, because I read a lot of reports and stuff that, it was really bad. It kind of ballooned up the market in Austin and then kind of went down some. I think it's found its homeostasis based on a lot of stuff I've been reading about it. So good job out there, Austin. And, keep selling those homes and keep that market nice and fresh. I got family, not quite in Austin, but near it. So I'm rooting for them and their home ownership as well. So anyway, let's go on here. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Gen Z and crypto and how Gen Z and crypto are shaking up home buying. Let's look at that real quick. All right. Against the odds, Gen Z is breaking into the housing market. Okay. Despite daunting market conditions, America's youngest generation of adults is managing to break into the housing market in growing numbers. Members of Generation Z, the cohort between the ages of 13 and 28, came of age during the economic upheaval of the COVID-19 pandemic. In the years since, home prices have surged and the nation's housing shortage has deepened, conditions that risk leading some young adults to give up on the dream of home ownership altogether. Still, many in Gen Z are forging ahead with home ownership. The generation now accounts for 1 in 4 loans issued for first-time home buyers, according to data from financial services company Intercontinental Exchange. And a Redfin report from January 2024 found that Gen Z's homeownership rate is outpacing that of millennials and Gen Xers when they were the same age. So they're buying homes or aspiring to become homeowners younger. There's a growing divide within Gen Z between those with stable jobs or financial support who can afford to buy a home in today's expensive market and those who are priced out, not just of home ownership, but also rental markets, says Susan Watcher, a professor at blah, blah, blah. Watcher recently authored a study, blah, 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 blah. She did something important. There are difficulties and challenges to buying a home, she said, some of which are more burdensome than on our previous generations. Still, CNN spoke to several Gen Zs who recently bought homes and found that their past homeownership varied widely. Some received help from family, while others did it on their own. Some carried along student loan debt from college, while others skipped college altogether. Okay. Well, good on you, Gen Z. And what else here? Oh, yeah. Crypto. Okay. Crypto industry moves into the U.S. housing market. The nation's largest mortgage finance firms will begin accepting crypto as an asset on a mortgage application, another significant step by the Trump administration to bring digital currencies into mainstream finance. This week, President Trump's housing director, William Pulte, said he would direct Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the nation's big mortgage firms, to consider home buyers' crypto investments as part of their overall wealth in assessing whether they can afford a mortgage. Traditionally, a home buyer's cash and savings in stock investments are what mortgage lenders consider. Now, this is huge for Gen Z. This is huge for Gen Z. And the reason why is because, I mean, who's really dealing with the crypto? It's going to be, who are your crypto bros? They're going to be your Gen Zers, your younger millennials. And yes, other age groups are in the crypto too. Got it. I used to mine crypto. But it's primarily going to be your younger generations. So that's huge, especially because, they probably have a good crypto wallet savings already. So that's going to be very helpful for them to, with their, just like a stock portfolio would be, they now have their crypto portfolios. That's awesome, man. Good on you, Gen Z, because I know that's going to really affect a lot of you guys out there in the younger gen. But anyway, let's cap this off and let's talk about some commercial real estate and some policy updates here. Commercial real estate trends outlook 2025 from CRE Daily. So sentiments is cautiously optimistic with activity expected to stay steady or rise. Top tier assets perform in office and multifamily, deepening the market's bifurcation. I don't know if that's an interesting word. Construction stays active in industrial, multifamily, and data centers despite tariff concerns, and AI and automation drive demand specifically in data centers and site selection strategies. So I guess they're talking about a nationwide reset. Commercial real estate in the U.S. is stabilizing after a period of change. Real estate professionals across the country report a more confident outlook that at the end of 2024, while the mood isn't very optimistic, it reflects a steady confidence. Most expect activity to hold or improve as investors and users adapt to shifting conditions. So some survey shows growing interest in leasing tours, deal activity, and investments. Most fundamentals remain steady. Okay, I'm not going to read you the whole report on this page. You can go and check this out on CRE Daily if you're really into commercial real estate. But something I found on X from this guy named Charlie Bellello. Yeah, you can go ahead and follow him on X there. He's a chief market strategist. He's talking about U.S. office to residential conversions are about to explode. Okay, I've been talking about this for a long time. We had some vacant commercial buildings, especially post-pandemic. And I said, look, if there's a really big need for the residential side, what's the likelihood of these commercial buildings becoming mixed-use developments or converted over? So that's a question I kept asking. But look at this. I was probably singing around 2024. But look at 2025, this year, right? So office conversions by construction status, an estimated year of completion. So I was talking about it here around 2024. And look, some conversions complete already, underway and announced. More underway and announced. And look at how many announced people that are really interested with 25, 26 by 2027. That's crazy. From a trickle today to a flood in 2027 plus if the announcements come true. Empty office towers are going to become apartments, condos, and hotels. The future of commercial real estate is going to look very different. But maybe in a good way, in great and new opportunities for investments. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, that wraps it up with Real Estate Roundup for June. I'm Robert Keilman, your host and Virginia real estate agent. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you soon.